One of the pieces we're looking at today is titled The Gates. This piece was created by Christo and Jeanne-Claude. It was displayed in New York and it was built from 1979 to 2005. The medium is mixed media. Christo and Jeanne-Claude worked together for 35 years, all while being married. Kind of like Bonnie and Clyde, but minus the crime. In those 35 years, this duo made many phenomenal works. Most of their time is spent working on big landscape pieces. Their works had the intention of blurring the lines of distinction between the natural world and the land itself. Their art sometimes tackled controversial and even political matters. This would make a lot of sense because ever since Christo was young, he was exposed to politics. His parents were activists and he grew up in a very progressive home. His parents' political views also exposed Christo to art. Christo began creating art at a young age. Occasionally, professors from the Academy of Fine Arts would come to Christo's home and discuss politics with his parents. This was further exposure to politics and art at a young age. Eventually, Christo grew up and attended the Academy of Fine Arts in Bulgaria. While studying there, he would showcase his art at the Nouveau Realistes. And I'm sorry if I just offended anyone who could speak French, but this was French for the New Realists. While working there, he was a portrait artist. While working as a portrait artist, he met Jeanne-Claude. This dynamic duo then got married in 1959. Initially, Jeanne-Claude was seen as a publicist and a business manager for Christo, until later on in their career, Jeanne-Claude was finally given equal respect for the pair's artwork. The two wanted to make a statement with their public art. They wanted it to be meaningful. The Gates was viewed as a testament to two very controversial topics in contemporary art. This piece tackled how to create meaningful public art and how art impacts our relationship with the environment. Christo and Jeanne-Claude had a concept for the Gates 30 years before this art was finally shown. In 2005, for a little over 2 weeks from February 12th to February 27th, their work was displayed in Central Park. This public display attracted over 4 million viewers. The beautiful 71,503 saffron-colored gates that drew the attention of New York costed quite a bit of money. Christo and Jeanne-Claude had to acquire this money somehow because they wanted to fund their own artwork. To afford the gates, they had to sell other pieces of work and even sell the sketch plans for the gates. This duo was so dedicated to public art and didn't want anyone else to pay for it. The couple would not even accept donations for their project, and not this project, for any other project they had. They would always pay their own money. Their work paid off. The viewers of the piece described the gates as a golden ceiling filled with warm shadows. This piece directly impacted the viewer's relationship with the environment and truly shows how public art can really be meaningful. The second piece we're looking at today is image 166, titled Black on Black Ceramic Vessel. It was created mainly by Maria Martinez with the help of her husband, Julio Martinez. It originates from the San Ildefonso Pueblo, New Mexico, circa mid-20th century CE. The medium is blackware ceramic. Maria Antonia Montoya later married and became known as Maria Martinez. Maria was noted in her village for being a master ceramist ever since she was young. She perfected her craft at a young age by watching many local potters. She especially took after her aunt Nicolisa. As she grew up, she continued to make more and more pieces. She eventually became known as one of the best-known Native American potters because of her connections with a non-Native audience. She was born in 1887 and basically made art until her death in 1980. Throughout her long life, she would sell her pots to this non-native audience because one, for money, and two, because her art was respected. Her pots would be purchased to be admired and displayed as opposed to using it as a utilitarian object. The process of making these beautiful pots was very careful. The clay could be found locally, but it had to be processed carefully, or the final vessel would not fire properly and the whole pot would be destroyed. In Maria Martinez's village of San Ildefonso, everyone was taught the careful way of making pots, because this craft was a communal and family activity. Maria often made these pieces with her family. While her art gained value, she stayed loyal to the roots of her skill and never steered from her village. She never considered herself anything more than a wife and a mother. Maria started to sign her work to make her pots more valuable to the non-native audience. Her buyers loved the decorative pieces, so Maria kept producing them. Her non-native audience, again, would never use these pots as utilitarian, which made her really want to keep using this art. Together, Maria and her husband Julian created a new style of ceramics. Together, all. This style entailed putting a matte black design over polished black. As you can see, these pots have native designs on them. These designs were based off of pottery shards Maria and her husband found at an ancestral Pueblo dig. Maria would sketch designs from shards to copy onto her pot designs. Maria and her husband worked hard to create these pots for a non-native audience, but never strayed from their family, which almost makes these pieces even more significant. Hey guys, thank you for watching my video on the gates and the black on black vessel pieces. I really enjoyed making it, and like and subscribe. Just kidding. I may or may not be trying to add time to my video. Anyway.